Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Big Apple Hockey. We have a lot that we have to discuss. You'd think we're going to run out of things, but no, we're finding more things and more headlines we have to speak of. For starters today, K'Andre Miller re-signs with the New York Rangers. The New York Islanders could target someone else after Alex Debrincat moves on. And more news around the NHL. Where's Erik Karlsson going? I, of course, am your host, Mr. Mark Williams. I don't know if I deserve the mister, but also on my little header right here, I was right about the K'Andre Miller signing. All along, everybody was saying, no, it's going to be $5 million. It's not. And, of course, the man who's doing double duty tonight, you can see him with us, his normal slot, and Rangers Ice Cold Brew, Mr. John Falkowski.
Rangers Ice Brew.
Damn it.
Yeah, good plug there, Mark. Good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be on with them after this 8:00 tonight. They're on YouTube as well, so you can check them out. Both guys that are mutual follows of mine on Twitter. So I just got asked about coming on. I think it's a good idea to network, and I think it'll be awesome hockey discussion. Their show is a little different from us in terms of their format. So if you like something a little different, you want a little bit of a change of pace, there we go. But I'm also going to say one more thing before I turn it over to your introduction of Anthony. What are you going, Barry Horowitz here? WWE Barry Horowitz pats himself on the back like you do there with your little K'Andre. I was right about K'Andre. Let me pat myself on the back there.
You know what I was? I'll admit that. And a man who was actually pulling double duty, he wrote 2 blogs for BigAppleHockeyPodcast.com this week, Mr. Anthony LaRocco.
I think Anthony might be frozen.
And we just lost Anthony.
We just lost Anthony, yeah.
All right. There'll be one more second, and then we'll get him back on.
Here. Get me alone off the screen. You don't want to see my ugly.
Phil, I do have to say, I firmly believed all along that Miller, who did not have arbitration rights, was going to be under that. And once Filipino came in, K'Andre Miller was not getting more than Filipino. And now I can go back to introducing him again. A man who pulled double duty, and he had 2 articles on BAHpod.com, Mr. Anthony LaRocco.
Yeah, why not? I want to test out my my writing side. My brother's the writing and the writer in the family. Been a journalist for Newsday for a long time. So shout out to my brother Paul LaRocco. But figured provide some content for the page, and I really had no other tagline. So Mark, why not just go with your name and question mark, just in case you're wondering what that's about?
Well, you know what? It works for me, Anthony. It works totally fine. All right, because we are starting, by the way, with the New York Islanders as we go to the A block, and I skipped right over the graphic. I always love using this graphic. It's one of my favorites. But this week, the big news, the Islanders spurned by Alex Debrincat, who has moved on from the Ottawa Senators to the Detroit Red Wings. By the way, the A block is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use the promo code Big Apple Hockey to get $20 off your first order. And the Big Apple Hockey hats are available. And I thought that light was charged, but I guess it wasn't. So, Anthony, we can check out your article, Islanders Bridesmaids again. But Debrincat, as I just mentioned a second ago, moved to the Detroit Red Wings in a package. The Islanders offered J.G. Pageau and Oliver Wahlstrom in a pick. That was what the rumor was. But basically, this is Debrincat choosing to go to Detroit more than it being Lou's fault. So the headline is this Lou's fault?
No, not really. I mean, if you know, if what Andrew Gross had said, was accurate, which, I mean, I did have confirmed by another source too, but meaning that the Islanders were under the impression that Debrincat would have signed an extension with them, then that means he would have been open to going there, and in which case Lou just had to work harder to offer Ottawa a package that they would have accepted. But, at the end of the day, all things considered, this is a guy that preferred to go to Detroit. Yeah, sure. If the deal with Detroit fell through, would he have come to the island if they could have worked out a deal with the Senators, sure. But he wanted to go home, play for the Red Wings, which honestly you don't really see too often. A guy wanting to play for the Detroit Red Wings, but like I said, he's from there. He wanted to play there. So the Senators really, by all accounts, Jeff Marek, Elliot Friedman, they're all guys.
We lost Anthony.
All right, we lost Anthony again.
He's having some technical issues over there. We apologize for that.
Yeah, but Phil, go take the lead from that. What do you think? This you can't blame this one on Lou. I know there's other times we can. I know we got one guy chomping at the bit to blame it on Lou.
Yeah, I don't necessarily blame Lou on this one. I do think, however, the offer that the Islanders had sent over was definitely nowhere near sufficient for Debrincat. I think that if, with him not really having trade protection and them doing the favor for him, they by rejecting that deal, what they're telling me is that if they're okay, that deal to them was so bad that they were willing to trade him within division to get what they thought was a better deal and accommodate his request. So I know that Anthony's not going to agree, and I know some Islander fans probably won't agree with this as well, but I dare anybody to look me in the face and tell me that if they had a 25, 26-year-old, two-time 40-goal scoring winger, that they would want to trade him for a package centering around a soon-to-be 31-year-old third-line center making a high AAV. But I don't really blame Lou, and I don't think anybody should be blaming Lou. I think that the Islanders just don't have enough great, readily available prospects to trade for a big player like this. And I think that's coming back to bite Lou. So if you want to blame Lou for that, okay, fine, fair. I completely understand that. But I really think this is a situation where you're not blaming Lamoriello for a guy wanting to go home and play where he grew up. Even in Erie, he wasn't terribly far from Detroit. So, this guy's been around the area, and even Chicago. Chicago's not terribly far when you consider our landscape in the United States and in North America in general. So it seems like this is something that's been leading up for a while. I'd imagine it's probably why Chicago traded him, because they knew that he wasn't going to re-sign there, and they knew he wanted to go to Detroit. So I'm not going to blame Lou.
It might have been a little bit of a dollar figure. Anthony, two parts for you. One, finish your thought that you were having just now. You said Jeff Marek is where you left off, but also go right into what is plans B through Z for the Islanders after this.
I wasn't sure where my Wi-Fi booted me, but no, I said, probably for that last week before he got traded, it was really just down to the Red Wings and Islanders. And then at some point, I think it was just down to the Red Wings once the Senators and Islanders really couldn't agree to, the assets going, in exchange for Debrincat. But before I got booted off, I was saying, Ottawa likes JG Pageau. It was the salary was the issue. Dominic Kubalik makes exactly $2.5 million less than Pageau. So if you look at the Senators' cap situation right now, they have $5 million in cap space. If they would have traded for, Pageau instead, it took the Islanders package. Now they're down to $2.5 million of cap space, and they have to re-sign Shane Pinto. So point being is Ottawa didn't want to take on the 3-year commitment to Pageau at $5 million. If Pageau had 1 year left, do they go with the Islanders package? Possibly. If he made the same as Kubalik, do they go with?
He is having all sorts of trouble.
I don't know what's going on with the issues over there. Obviously, sorry about that to Anthony, because Anthony definitely wants to give his opinion on this as well. Yeah. But I do agree with what Anthony's saying a little bit. They do like JG Pageau. I think the thing for that, Philk, is if it's next year, you're talking about 1 year on that deal, then maybe actually let me just it might be 1 or 2. It's a lot less that has to be on that deal. And also maybe they're 1 year ahead more in needing a third liner, needing to focus on your bottom six, trying to get the playoffs and trying to make a run. right now they're not really able to do that.
The player isn't bad at all. He turns 31 in November, though, and he has 3 years left on his deal, $5 million with a not modified no trade list.
Midway through my answer, I remembered it's 3 years, not 2.
Yeah, it's a 16 team trade list, so he can veto half the league. But it's not that the player is bad. It's just that, one, I don't think he fits their trajectory, and two, he's too highly paid for what he is. I mean, he's great at what he does, yes, but I mean, he's not a Selke caliber player. He's not going to be in the Selke finals every year. I mean, Ottawa. All right, so Ottawa actually got a first round pick, a second round pick, and a fourth round pick for. No, I'm sorry. Ottawa gave that up for Chicago. I thought this read. Sorry, Chicago didn't get that much for him.
Yeah,
Chicago got a decent a haul for him. But I actually think that this is a better return than what Chicago got for him, to tell you the truth. I don't see how, Dominic Kubalik is 26, 27 years old. He's a 20-goal guy, had a 30-goal rookie season. I think he can give you more scoring. But Anthony, dude, that Wi-Fi is just bad. I don't know what it's.
I don't know what the thing is going on.
How are we not pointing out the obvious? It's Lou. Lou doesn't want you talking about this.
Yeah, Lou does not want you talking about this at all.
Yeah, he's. It wouldn't be the first time he kind of screwed us.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Serious.
But Anthony, so where do the Islanders pivot and turn to now?
Well, there's not much. I mean, by all accounts, Tarasenko's Elliot Friedman did a thing on NHL Network before talking about Tarasenko. He basically said Sharks, Senators, Hurricanes, Predators. So it doesn't look like he's in the Islanders' plans. Other than that, on the free agent market, there's literally nothing. Trade market, I mean, I don't know what else. I don't know what else is out there right now at this point anymore.
There is a player in Bar Talk that I think the Islanders should target.
So I'm not. You know what? I really don't know. And we're also at this point in the offseason where generally things kind of just die down. And I know there are exceptions to the rule. Matthew Tkachuk was traded on July 22nd last year. Going back even longer, Erik Karlsson and Mac Pacioretty were traded right before training camp. So I get it. But typically, if a move doesn't happen, a couple days after July 1st, usually things don't get done. So could Lou still do something that no one really knows about? Yeah, I mean, he can, but I can't come up with a player only because there's really no one I could think of that's that's out there legitimately that's going to get traded.
Wow.
This is unprecedented. We actually haven't had this happen with him in a while.
He may need to restart his modem and everything that.
But again, Anthony's trying his best to be on with us right now, and he's trying to get you all the information that he can. He in the article that Anthony did write, by the way, Anthony's Islanders bridesmaid again. He does mention some trade targets, and like I said in Bar Talk, I have an out of the box one for you guys on that. One last tidbit for the Islanders right now. Thomas Greiss retires after 14 seasons in the NHL. He's known best for that first round series, especially that it was a 3 overtime winner, if I recall correctly, Phil, in game 5 that he played phenomenal, or was it just double overtime?
I think it was double. I could be wrong, but I think that's a double overtime winner. I will check just to be safe. But
who had the game-winning goal?
That was Alan Quine.
Alan Quine on the power play. He had a one-timer.
Yeah. I think that was a double OT winner. But
let's see if any Islander fans are there right now. If there's any IT guys, I'll give you Anthony's phone number at the moment.
I just told him to. Reboot
the router. Yes.
Yeah, because it's.
Well, fortunately, we're going to switch gears. We're going to go over to the New York Rangers and continue A block. But everybody, you know what that means. It's time for a message from DraftKings as This is part of the Hockey Podcast Network. Hockey fans light the lamp this winter with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. New customers can bet just $5 pregame money line on any NHL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. If that wasn't enough excitement, you can turn small bets into bigger payouts with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more for your shot at an even bigger payout. Download the DraftKings Sports app now. Use promo code THPN. Bet $5 on any NHL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Only at the DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. All right, because Phil, news was made yesterday. It broke kind of late in the afternoon. K'Andre Miller signs a 2-year deal under $4 million, 3.8275. And that means Alexis Lafreniere is the lone RFA remaining for the New York Rangers. So first things first, let's talk about K'Andre Miller's contract and that deal. What do you think about this?
I think it's a pretty fair deal. I honestly thought we were looking at $4 million for him, maybe even a little more than that, just because of the 40-point season that he had. But the second half of last year and the playoffs were just downright abysmal for him. I mean, he just was not himself. He was not the player that he was in the first half of the season and the playoffs last year and the second half of last season, where I thought he had taken just some immense strides and come a long way defensively. He was playing great defensive hockey, great two-way hockey overall. Really started really asserting himself on the ice at both ends. So, but yeah, the offensive numbers were there. Definitely very inconsistent throughout the season. But I definitely think that the inconsistency and the bad play in the second half of the year in the playoffs definitely hurt him money-wise. Because, like I said, I was looking at 4. I thought that would have been the mark. And if he'd gotten a little more than that, okay, then Rangers maybe would have gone in maybe an extra year or two. But he apparently just it hurt him. And you know what? I'm hoping he uses this as motivational fuel to come back this season and just play 2 absolutely just brilliant seasons for them and force the Rangers into making a big decision. And I know a lot of people are, they're hoping for longer term. B-Rye, I'm hoping for longer term. David Wood for $4 million. I would have liked to see more years. It's under $4 million. And I know it's not by a lot, but at the same time, you're looking at somebody who has something to prove, and he's going to use these 2 years to kind of stick it to the team and say, hey, you know what? Now you're going to have to pay me. You're really going to have to pay me. And if he's good, then he's going to get that money, and that's something that Chris Drury, if he's still around at that point, will have to worry about then. And that's what we're all hoping, because that's what's best for the team at this point. So I like it. I think it's a little less than what I thought he was going to make, but I think this is fair, considering the inconsistencies and the bad play in the second half of the season. To be fair. So.
But also what you're saying is, as far as the contract goes,
that's good.
But I got to agree. It's a good contract, and it's definitely one that the Rangers needed to lock in. Everybody that came on with me for the last 2-3 months, even when I did solo streams, and they're saying, oh no, he's going to be paid at least $5 million, maybe $5.5 million, and get offer sheeted. None of that was going to happen. He didn't have the hammer. It's team control. Yes, I'm going to pat myself on the back for this, because I'm trying to reassure everybody that's just not going to happen.
Can we just insert the GIF of the Nation of Domination promo from WWE 98 where Farouk is going off and saying all this stuff, and The Rock is just sitting there like rolling his eyes and like, wow. This is literally me right now with you patting yourself on the back.
Well, because I'm gonna take my victory lap on this one, because the next one I'm gonna take is gonna be on the next player we're gonna talk about. But as far as Miller goes, yes, his game has some room that it has to grow, and it still has things that he has to get done. I think this is where Peter Laviolette comes into play. Didn't mispronounce it. And it's just this is where I'm going to point to defensemen that he's worked with in the past that have come out and had career seasons under him, such as Adrian Aucoin, such as Roman Josi, such as although Roman Josi's best season was actually under John Hines, but that's a different story. I mean, the guy is coached defensemen and forwards. The guy knows how to coach. First things first, I think I move him away from Jacob Trouba. I think both those guys should not be playing together, and it just should not happen.
I'll interject there for a second. And I do agree with you to a point, and but I do want to see what happens under Laviolette's structure and with Phil Housley, because I think both those things can help. Because under Gallant and Quinn, there was a lot of freewheeling hockey, and there wasn't any real sound structure or rhyme to the reason and so on. But now I want to see what happens with Laviolette and Phil Housley, and I want to see what happens with some structure. And we're glad to have Anthony back. I'm hoping this is the last time we're going to have to worry about that. I love how Marc just puts that up right away, because he knows that Lou just does not want him talking about the Islanders. And if Anthony doesn't get booted for the rest of the episode, then I think there's confirmation bias there.
Anthony, what are your thoughts on the Keandre Miller deal?
It's a good bridge deal for both sides, I think. The Rangers get him at a good term. I think he has a chance to, perform well here in this contract and earn himself some more money when it expires. So, you kind of looked at what Noah Dobson got, which I believe was like $4 million. So I kind of thought to myself that he was going to come in a little under that because he hasn't had the point total that Dobson did. But close though, 3.8 was it? AAV?
3.8.
Yeah, so pretty close to 4. But I think it's a fair deal for both sides. He has room to grow. He struggled a little bit there down the stretch and a little bit in the playoffs. So maybe that could have affected him a little bit, what he could have got. But overall, I think it kind of lined up right where I thought he should be. And now for him, it's about, playing consistent throughout the regular season and playoffs and just continuing to become a better hockey player. And then once it was a 2-year deal, once it's up, he can cash in again. So I think it's good for the Rangers. Now leaves them with $2.5 million of cap space or so to re-sign Lafreniere, and then they should be in good shape and have their roster rounded out. But I like Miller. I think, like I said, he has room to get better, and I think it's a fair deal for both sides, which is good when you see a player that signs and it's a deal for good. It's a deal for that works for both sides, because sometimes a player could essentially steal money from a franchise by getting a contract that they really shouldn't have gotten. Not the case here.
See Brady Shea for that one. Anthony, I'm going to go right back to you on this one, especially since we have a solid Wi-Fi connection for a minute. And so you mentioned Alexis Lafreniere. What is the number you see him getting?
I think $2.5 million. I mean,
You jinxed it.
My God.
You are a jinx.
How the hell did this happen?
You are a jinx.
Oh, my goodness.
Didn't you?
You know what? I had to say something. But Anthony's right, by the way, Phil. I'll start this for him. I hand him Kakko's contract. And you say 2 years bridge deal. Here you go, kid. Go break 40 points for the first time. I'm not paying you a dime more.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. There's no reason to go overboard for this kid. He's not going to get long term. And there are definitely some issues that need to be hammered out with him. I wonder how seriously he takes his off seasons. I haven't seen an improvement in the skating. I haven't seen the improvement in strength and conditioning. I want to see more. The talent's there. The hockey IQ's there. Where the hell is everything else? And that's what I want to know. So Drew is shutting him down now because he doesn't want him talking.
Oh, come on. Wait a minute. I got one for that one. There's Chris Drury right there trying to silence Anthony.
And that's even better because the stank look on Drury's face. He just looks like he got the ass of the work. He just looks like he got a layup handed to him in Bar Talk.
Well, sometimes the layups have to be there for us to talk about that.
I would be very happy about that one. To see layup talk be handed to Drury and Drury be looking at Marc like, are you kidding me? Does it bear shit in the woods?
That would be great for an honest press conference. Side note, by the way, I can't believe that was in an actual press conference this week with the Philadelphia Flyers. That's
oh God. Well,
that is just ridiculous. That's unprofessional. You can't have it happen. Can't have it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Look, not to get political on this in any way, but it's also a female blogger that was asking a question. So then it seems even more like offensive to do it. Like and it's a valid question. It was a valid question. Why did Garnet Hathaway go to a rebuilding team? Because they're really tearing it down. But whatever. Anyway, Phil, back to this. The paranoid people are going to run around now and say that the New York Rangers have $2.3 million worth of cap space. They're never going to be able to get Alexis Lafreniere right there. And can someone really offer sheet Lafreniere in order to put the screws to the Rangers? Where'd this burp come from?
I don't know. No, I doubt that's happening. I mean, I think the Montreal Carolina saga with Sebastian Aho I think that's gonna put a stop on offer sheets for a while. I really think teams are going to look at that, especially with this cap situation, and the cap supposedly going up, after this upcoming season. I just think that there are a lot of teams that are in the situation where they need the cap space right now, and I don't think that I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. So I can't see it. I think if anything, Lafreniere is probably going to get signed to a deal that's probably just over $2 million. I would say for 2 years, probably. He doesn't deserve a long-term deal at this point. He has a lot to prove. I think there are questions being asked of him. And now it's gut check time. It's time to get your shit straight and get everything together and really start working on the stuff that's going to make you a successful professional hockey player. To me, I think there's a bit of immaturity on Alexis Lafreniere's part. I don't think that he deserves any more than 2x2, maybe 2.1, maybe 2.25. But I don't even know if he's going to get that. I think that, obviously with some of these guys not making the roster, they're going to come off the cap. Like, let's take a look at the Rangers cap situation right now and some of the guys that may not make the roster. So you're looking at guys like maybe an Alex Belzile. Tyler Pitt, like, for all we know, could not make it. Excuse me there. But, you got Ben Harper that counts on the Rangers cap right now. Connor Mackey counts on the Rangers cap right now. They're going to get cap space from some of those guys going down to the AHL. So that's what I see. I don't see the Rangers buying out, or they can't buy out Barclay Goodrow anymore. If they don't trade Barclay Goodrow and try to go for Vladimir Tarasenko, then they're gonna have cap space. But even if I think the Rangers will be fine in terms of cap space. I just think that I can't see anything more than 2 years, $2.25 million for Alexis Lafreniere. I don't think he deserves that. I don't think he deserves anything more. Look at
he doesn't really deserve a dime more. And
even to your point, Kako's deal was what, 2 times 2.1. So you can turn around and just say, hey, you know what? Kako has played better than you, and why do you deserve any more than what he got?
Yep. And that's exactly what I do. Go look. Maybe you don't have the opportunities. Maybe you do. Cash it on the next contract with us, and that's what we'll do.
You know what? I'm gonna say interject with this comment here. I'm not saying it's entirely Alexis Lafreniere's fault. The Rangers have definitely mishandled them. I would absolutely agree with the fact that Chris Kreider may need to be moved down at even strength. I think for the overall future of the franchise, I think this would help. But if you're going to tell me that Alexis Lafreniere has played well enough to consistently earn a spot in the top 6, I can't say that you're being honest with yourself. I really can't. There needs to be better efforts. He's very inconsistent at times. There are times where he looks like the player that he should be one day, and there are times where he looks almost disinterested. And in the times where he looks like he's disinterested, you don't notice him at all. He's like a ghost. So, you know what? We need more from him.
That's for Chris Kreider as usual. You're saying with that Kreider, the friendly ghost.
Chris Kreider's another story.
But you mean with Alexis Lafreniere? Yeah, you know what, Philk? I usually defend Chris Kreider on this and say his game is away from the puck, and if the puck's not finding you, that hurts him. Sort of like his tip-ins in front. Last year, he was getting more. The year before, he was getting more rebounds. He was getting more deflections. Last year, Mika Zibanejad, those pucks were going in or going wide. If they're not, if that's what's happening, Chris Kreider isn't going to be as productive. That being said, going back to Alexis Lafreniere, he does have a game with the puck. He does want the puck and can try to handle it. That's where it's good for the kid line, but all three of them want the puck. So, the Rangers have to have a coach that's going to properly utilize these guys. And I'm not completely ripping Gerard Gallant by saying that, but he didn't address that problem. That was one of those things. And when you're going to be the Rangers coach, that's what you got to get. Because right now, the Rangers are about to be the first team to completely piss away a first and a second overall pick because reasons. They don't have any. So I don't understand with that. By the way, Tommy, Coach Alonge was in at Croker's 2 weeks ago. Great seeing him. So we are going to step out of here right now, and we're going to get ready for Bar Talk. And hopefully by then, Anthony's technical difficulties will be over.
Shot. This is the easiest I've ever to answer.
I'm going to say beer. I can't even begin to describe.
I'm actually going to go crazy. I'm going to buy everybody around on this one. Welcome back, everybody, to Big Apple Hockey's Bar Talk, where we're gauging our confidence on NHL topics based on our choice of drink. Are you so confident that you're going to buy everybody around? So I'll just have a beer? Or, oh, God, just can I get a shot? As a matter of fact, I'm staring at some leftover whiskey that I had a layup talk. Wait till I'm on, and we'll get some layup talk on Core Python.
Yeah, God,
I'm still staring at like a whole lot of whiskey that I had from the last time I played golf.
All of you out there, guys and girls, have to tune in for that because Mark is going to hand Core every single layup that he can think of, and Core's face is probably going to look like the guy from The Office where he rolls his eyes at him.
And by the way, of course, as far as bar whenever we do Bar Talk, always. I asked the question, why go to the liquor store? Make it a Drizly night. Go on Drizly. You got the app or the website, either one you want. Have them bring everything to you. Beer, alcohol, liquor, parties, whatever you're going to do. Got taco night coming on Thursday. I'm going to have them bringing liquor to me. And, of course, Big Apple Hockey trucker hats are available. Check the link below. It goes to our eBay store. Philk, as we're waiting for Anthony to get back on, there have been a lot of predictions for lines for the New York Rangers right now. And some of the sites, a lot of them, I can't believe how many, Philk, are predicting Blake Wheeler, Vincent Trocheck, and Artemi Panarin to be together. The Rangers can play Blake Wheeler and Artemi Panarin together.
I mean, technically, yeah, they can. Is it the best idea? I'm not sure. I do think that Wheeler can win a lot of those board battles that Panarin doesn't want to win, because it seems like over the last couple of years he's kind of shied away from some of those. I don't think it's necessarily a bad fit. I don't necessarily think it's a great fit either. Wheeler is not a complete pass-first player. I mean, he has several seasons of 200-plus shots, so it's not like he's just looking to dish at all times, although he's known primarily as a playmaker. But I get why there would be concern about playing two guys that are known more so as playmakers together. So I'm going to say Beer here. I do believe that Wheeler could actually benefit by playing on a line with Zibanejad and Kreider, who are both primarily shooters. And I would love to see more of something like that. And I think that line has lacked a real playmaker since Zuccarello and Buchnevich both left. So I would like to see how that line works together.
Shot. You can't put those guys together. There's no chance. There's never going to be a shot. Except the one that I'm putting over your face right now. Nobody's ever going to shoot the puck. And you know what? Yeah, they're good enough to do both. I'm fine with that, Phil, but you got to be kidding me. There's no way. And, and I do think, look, maybe that's what happens in the preseason. They prove me wrong. They're dynamic. Vinny Trocheck, they're basically just feeding Vinny Trocheck and he scores 100 goals this year. But, no. Panarin is too pass happy. Wheeler's too pass happy. I mean, Wheeler's actually less pass happy than Panarin. So we'll see about that one. But, I mean, no, absolutely not. By the way, as we mentioned in the A block, 40-goal scorer Alex Debrincat was traded to the Detroit Red Wings. However, there is a guy that I think the Islanders should target. He's on a team that's sort of a tweener right now. They're leaning towards a rebuild. The Islanders should target Winnipeg's Nikolai Ehlers. Mr. Fulkowski.
Oh, you screwed that name up.
Ah, damn it. Really?
Yeah, you did.
All right, fix it.
Womp, womp, womp.
Thought I had it.
Nope. It's a J at the end. NIK-AJ.
You got it or I got it.
Get the Marc messed up gif.
All right, I'll get that out.
And you're still wrong. AJ, not IJ. Oh, man.
Okay, let's try this one again on the lead-in since I cut up the shows a little bit. There's the Marc messed up. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the Islanders should target Nikolai Ehlers. What do you think?
I mean, he's got a $6 million cap hit for the next 2 seasons. He's 27. He'll be 28 in February. I mean, he wasn't bad. He was actually pretty good this year. He had 38 points in 45 games, only 12 goals, though. So the only reason why I'm going to say shot here is because the Islanders need a sniper. They don't need another playmaker. Why are you bringing in more playmakers when this team's biggest problem is scoring goals?
Mm-hmm.
So I like the player. I like the cap hit. I like the term. I even like the age. I would say that the Islanders probably could re-sign him afterwards too, after that time ends, because their prospect system right now, there's really not a whole lot going on there outside of William Dufour. Like, are you really depending on Ruslan Ishkakov to be a top 6 scorer? And I'm not trying to badmouth him or anything, but I mean, it's no guarantee that he ends up being a top 6 guy. He's not really a blue chip prospect. So again, why do they need another playmaker? A guy that's very, very pass happy. He's got a good shot, but another guy that's very pass happy. So this is a shot for me.
Well, after taking a while to get to spelling his name right, So let me get your shot up there first. And Phil, I love Nikolai Ehlers. I got him in fantasy every single year, but I got to put that shot right back up there. Even though I threw this one out there, and I think he's a good player at the Islanders. He for me, he's like tailor-made to go to the Islanders. But on the other hand, Phil, 2023, 45 games. 2021 to 22, 62 games. 2021, that was the 56 game season, only 47.
Yeah,
Granted,
but he had 46 points in that season, which was really good.
That was really good. He had 55 and 62. He had 38 and 45. But you know what the best ability is? It's availability. And I gave away the answer in midway through saying that.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are really good. He's about a 60 to 65 point player in a regular year. And I think at his very best, he could be like a 70-point player. And he fits exactly the way the Islanders want to play. They want to play an up-tempo game with a lot of speed, a lot of creativity and puck movement. He's just not a goal scorer. That's it. That's what it comes down to.
Now, last week, Phil, we had this exact topic, and we also said when the Islanders' grades were coming out, if they got to Debrincat, that was pending on the grade.
Yeah.
But the Detroit Red Wings signed 6 players this offseason. Sprong, Comfer, Kotzen, Gossesbear, Fisher. Sorry, my bad. Hall and Lyon. And then they just acquired Alex Debrincat and then signed him. The Detroit Red Wings had the best offseason so far.
I want to say beer, just because I do think it's up there. I think the Alex Debrincat acquisition really, really helped them out big time. And they gave up a decent package, but not the world. And they didn't gut their prospect depth to do it, which is good too. I mean, Donovan Sabrango, I think, is actually going to be an NHL player. I think he probably projects as a bottom pairing defensive defenseman with an outside chance of maybe being a top 4 guy.
And of course, by the way, in Ottawa, they get to sell that he had 2 points in the gold medal game for Team Canada at the World Juniors.
Yeah. So I do think that I do think that they got a decent return in Ottawa, and I think Detroit didn't give up too much at the same time. But I think overall, and if you put like the names back up there, I'll go by each one of them, and I'll let you know what I think. So Sprong, great. I thought that was a great signing.
Good really bottom 6 forward.
No, I think he's a top 6 forward. And I think
every time he's been given that opportunity, he's not really done it. He can spot in the top 6 at times. I wouldn't put him up there for the full season.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. What do you consider a guy that put up almost 30 goals and almost 50 points then?
I would call him a top 6 forward then.
Yeah, and then just to look at I'm sorry. He put up 21 this year. Sorry, my fault.
That's at least a little bit better for me.
Yeah. 21 goals, though, but only in 66 games. So he was on pace for about 30.
I would put him in pencil in the top 6 in your case. I wouldn't put him in ink just yet.
Yeah, Chris, I corrected myself there. Yeah. I thought it was a little more, but it was 21, but only in 66 games. So he paced for like 25 to 30 goals, somewhere in that range. But again, 46 points on a Seattle team that really didn't have any superstars. You got to remember, Jared McCann was really leading that offense.
Mm-hmm.
So him and Natty Beniers. But I would say he's a top 6 forward. I think JT Compher is a great middle 6 guy. Like, you want to plug him in your middle 6 anywhere, he can work on a second line as a guy that really goes in and wins loose puck battles, plays defense, is a real spark plug. Or he could be a guy that could drive play on a third line. Gossesbeer, up and down. I mean, he's put up points. Let's see what he does here. I thought that I guess, they needed a puck mover. Costin, for a former first-round pick, 2017, kind of has to prove himself. Not necessarily a bad deal. I mean, Christian Fischer, I'm not really high on him. I mean, he's okay bottom six piece. Justin Hall, not really a big fan of. Alex Lyon, backup, okay. But, I mean, again, they did good. I wouldn't say, like, their offseason's great. But you know what? I don't think anybody that's had a great offseason where they're completely knocked it out of the park. I don't think any team has really done that. So if that's what you're looking for to say it's like the best offseason, I don't know if there's a team that's like that.
I agree with you on the sentiment that it's probably not. Oh, so you said beer on this, right?
Yeah, I'm going beer.
Okay. I think they had the best offseason of the teams that were there. I'll go them over the Devils. I think they've greatly improved their team.
I think the Devils may have had the best offseason. Overall, when you all things considered, I think they may have had the best one.
Right. And I still kind of like that. Yeah, you know what? You talked me down to a beer. I didn't put the graphic up in time, so technically speaking, that does count. We'll use that one. Because I was ready to buy a round on this one, and oops, sorry, Phil, put that comment back up.
I'm kind of with you on this, Chris. I don't know why Seattle gave up on him either, and Shane Wright projects more as a center. We always thought that Matty Beniers and Shane Wright would be the two centers of the future for that team. So, yeah, I'm with you on that comment.
There's been some chatter that Shane Wright might not even start with Seattle next year.
So. I'll wait to see. Chatter is always chatter. We're in the middle of the offseason right now. We're like almost smack dab in the middle of it. So actually, no, I shouldn't say that. Smack dab in the middle will probably be the beginning of August, but we're heading towards the middle. So let's.
This is kind of the offseason. The NHL they like to go to their cottages. You know that, Phil.
Yeah. So let's see what happens with Shane Wright when he comes to training camp. I personally would love to see Shane Wright come to training camp in great shape, motivated, focused, and have him wow them and absolutely force them to play him in that lineup.
Well, it's hopefully he'll be as focused as he was staring down the Montreal Canadiens draft table.
Yeah, that's the energy you want.
Phil, let's go to a guy that used to play a lot against Detroit. He played for two teams last year. Vladimir Tarasenko remains unsigned, 18 goals, 32 assists, 50 points with the Rangers and the Blues. We know we narrowed it down to about 4 teams on Tarasenko, but Vladimir Tarasenko playing a 1-year deal next year.
I'm going to buy a round on this. I think at this point, I don't think any team is looking to give him a more than a 1-year deal. I think they're scared by the drop in production from his career year in 2022 to this past season. 2, I also think that they're scared by the injury history that he has with that shoulder. This is a guy that was a perennial 30 to 40 goal scorer. He had multiple surgeries on his shooting shoulder. And, I thank God I didn't tongue tie myself there. I always get that one tied up.
Shooting shoulder?
Yeah, exactly. And then you look at that and you say, hey, this guy's getting older. He's got an injury on a vital part of his body that, that he uses really for his moneymaker. So I think he gets a 1-year prove-it deal. I think we're at the point in the offseason where there's very little interest on giving him a multi-year deal. I know this is the kind of the sentiment that's going around right now, that people think that he wants to come back to the Rangers. And I think that may be a part of it, but I'm not sure if that's completely the case where it's just that holding up. I think his previous agent, Paul Theophanis, might have misplayed his cards and he's not getting those multi-year deals. So he went to CAA with Brisson and Barry and is now looking to try to see if he can get a multi-year deal with a team. And there just may not be any biters at this point. That to me, I think is more of a realistic and probable scenario than him wanting to come back to the Rangers, even though I do think that there's a very large part of Tarasenko that doesn't want to leave New York, that was very happy here, and he wants to stay with this team. So I'm just going to be honest with you. Don't get your hopes up for that. I would love it too if he came back, but don't get your hopes up on him.
He's not playing on a 1-year deal. There's no way he's playing on a 1-year deal.
Find me a team that's going to give him a multi-year deal.
I think he's going to push for at least a 2 to 3 year deal. I don't see this happening.
He's not
all along since the day the Rangers got him, Phil. He has one more payday. That's it.
You're right.
This is it.
Why is he going to do it on a 3-year deal then? That would be against all logic at that point. So if he gets a 2 or 3 year deal, he's got to come back 2 or 3 years later and then try to hope that he can get a deal for another 3 years at 33, 34 years old? That makes no sense.
That makes no sense.
He's going to have to play on a 1-year deal.
And you look at what he had before. Let's go from 2017. 75 points, 2017, 39 goals, 39 assists. He would score 30 goals the next 2 years, 33 the next 2 years, but his production went down 66, 68 points. 2019, 10 games played. That's 2019, 2020. 2021, 24 games, 14 points. Then he had the 82-point explosion to say, hey, he's back. And then last year, 50 points and a minus 14. Ugh. I don't know, Phil. I think the guy that we think Vladimir Tarasenko is not there anymore. And this is the controversial take that I promise one of the viewers that were on Twitter. This is I look at that and go, why bring him back if you're the Rangers? It's too many cooks spoil the stew. If that's the case, you should have signed the Blake Wheeler contract for 1 year and have that as the prove-it money. But instead, he's trying to get a payday. And I don't blame him. He deserves as much money as he gets. But that's why he's looking at a team like San Jose. I mean, but you might go to San Jose, maybe 1 year deal.
I don't think San Jose realistically involved. I don't think he wants to go there. I think he's just trying to drum. I think that's the agent trying to drum up the market. And why is San Jose trying to bring in a 31-year-old player whose numbers dropped off drastically from the year before? Like, to me, that doesn't make sense either. I think that's a smokescreen. But
see, because look, if that's what you're outlining, and maybe later on in the year, the offseason, I'm wrong. He doesn't get that deal. But right now, I'm not handing him a 1 year deal. And if it's him, I have to try to force at least a 2 year deal or something. Yeah, get paid by something.
You can't do a 2 year deal because you're just at the same point. And not only that, all right, so it's either a 1 year deal right now or it's a long-term deal of like 5-6 years. So I think those are the only options. I don't think there's any in between. So, because like you said, it's got to be that last payday. And if it's not this year, he's got to play this 1 year out, have the best year that he can have, and then hope with the cap increase next offseason that there are more teams in play. So, to me, I don't see any other options other than those two.
And that's if the cap increase comes, because the NHL has been promising to do it for a while. Speaking about guys that had a huge drop-off offensively, Phil, Matt Dumba, he went from 27 points to 14 points.
Oof.
He's unsigned right now, Phil. Matt Dumba is this year's John Klingberg.
Oh, that's a layup. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. I'm not even gonna make the face. I'm just gonna say layup. John Klingberg was in the same exact situation last year. Was a player that had seen a little bit of a decline in production. I think John Klingberg is much better defensively and offensively than Matt Dumba, but it's the same situation. A player that had an offensive decline. I mean, he had 36 points in 53 games in 2021, 47 points in 74 games in 2022. Far cry from that 67-point season he had in 2018. But, a guy that was regarded as like a 50-point defenseman, maybe a 60 on a good day, and then he scores 47 points in his contract year. It gets a 1 year deal with Anaheim, gets dealt to the deadline. It's only 33 points in 67 games. Dumba is just not in a great position. But this is absolutely round. Before I even stop and let Anthony go in, I'm just going to say happy birthday to my buddy Jason, one of my good friends from hockey. So happy birthday, Jay. Jay and his son Dylan are both longtime viewers of the show. They've been with us since day one. So happy birthday, Jay. Love you, bud.
And again, happy birthday. And also, Anthony, I am not saying anything else. You just go ahead and take it away. Is Matt Dumba this year's John Klingberg?
It's absolutely around for me. I mean, this is a guy that I wasn't sure. Like, I didn't think that he'd get $6 million again on this next contract, but he's still a good player. I'm surprised that he's still unsigned. Just goes to show the market right now. Teams are so cap strapped. They really can't afford to give him the AAV that he's looking for, even if it's at a slight discount at let's say 5. So I've heard him being linked to the Coyotes.
Oh my God. Again. He can't win. He can't win.
What the hell's going on today?
He can't win. This is terrible. Oh, God.
All right. Well, it's I hope it's on his end. I mean, I'm hardwired, so I shouldn't have that problem right here.
I'm not having problems.
Well, right. I mean, Suffolk County. I guess that's the only way to say that. But oh man.
Hey, Suffolk County. He's Suffolk County.
I know. All right, there. Good point.
What are you talking about?
I'm not elitist Nassau. All right. I'm going over the round on this one. He should have signed day one. You have a precipitous drop down to 14 points, and you're going to ask for big money? Nope. Let me just run out and go get you. And Matt Dumba's another guy. He's been trade rumored for years, and he's had injuries. I'm not running to go sign him to big money. You're going to have to prove it. Sorry, man. Anaheim Ducks are calling you. Or Arizona. Arizona's actually landing some big players. Like when they landed Jason Zucker, we were shocked on the free agent trade deadline or the free agency day. Yes. So, by the way, Philk, a lot of reports have been saying this, and I want to just get your thoughts on this. The Erik Karlsson sweepstakes are down to potentially the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Carolina Hurricanes. Erik Karlsson will get the Penguins or the Canes in the Stanley Cup Finals.
So he's going to be the piece that gets them to the Stanley Cup
Yes.
Finals, what you're saying. Shot. All right, so this is the layup, the shot version of a layup. So those teams, well, the Canes, okay, I can see the Canes. It depends on what goes the other way. But the Penguins? The Penguins are so flawed as it is. Their roster is so flawed as it is. You add Erik Karlsson to that. Are you really trying to tell everybody that Tristan Jarry is going to be the one that's going to get that team to the finals? For them to go, I just can't believe. I still can't believe, rather, that the guy that was constantly referred to as a scapegoat over the last 3 seasons was re-signed to a 5-year deal of an AAV over $5 million. And now this guy's supposed to be the goalie that's going to get them to the Stanley Cup Finals? I can't. I don't even know what to say there, but no, I'm shot on this.
Anthony, we got to get to you as quick as possible.
I think he's frozen and done again.
Oh, come on.
He didn't even get to talk. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's bad. Yeah, that
poor guy's been trying his best. It's a shot. There's no chance. Look, Carolina might make the Stanley Cup Finals. I'll give you that. I think their window might have passed, by the way, but that's a different story. My friend Pete would argue against me. Speaking about weird moves, they're talking about trying to get Erik Karlsson, and they're also trying to get the Anthony D'Angelo deal to go through, or Tony. So, and whatever. He's back to Anthony. You've been bad. So, it's just, I don't know, Phil. I don't know if I can realistically take an Erik Karlsson deal, especially at Pittsburgh. You got to be kidding me. Your problem's on defense? You're getting Erik Karlsson?
I like this comment here. He could also very well regress back to like 50, 60 points next year. Okay, so here's the problem. You have a player that in San Jose, I get that he scored 100 points. That's great. But he was literally able to just go out there and do whatever the hell he wanted without any responsibility to his own defensive end because they were bad. They were bad. So, okay. Here's your plan. We're just going to let Erik just do whatever the hell he wants. He's going to control the power play, and he's going to get the minutes that he wants. So now, he stayed healthy, and the entire offense ran through him. In Pittsburgh or anywhere else where there's structure and there's other players that need the puck, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he couldn't be a 70, 80-point defenseman, but he's not going to be anywhere near a 100-point defenseman on a team that actually has weapons and that has to not have their entire offense run through him like it did in San Jose. So I don't see it. I get that San Jose is going to try to sell high, and they should, but any team that requires him is not getting a 100-point defenseman. They're getting somewhere maybe around 60 points, I would say. So I can't see it.
No, it's not happening. Even if he goes to the Penguins, even with their last gasp of talent that they have, no, it's not happening. Like
what does Pittsburgh give up to get him? That's really what's important to ask too, because
they got draft picks. I guess that's enough, but they're not retaining salary from what Mike Greer was saying.
Mike Greer is going to have to retain salary to get this deal done. There's no way he's not retaining a significant amount.
I just wonder how you fire Kyle Dubas already. And I was watching the Maple Leafs on Amazon.
2.3 over the cap.
I don't even know what they're doing. Salary. I don't know what they're doing.
Is Marcus Pettersson going in return?
Maybe. I can't even look to see who they got because I'm so disinterested. They've overpaid on everybody. They tried to keep the band back together. I don't know what to do with the Penguins. If I was Dubas, I wouldn't know what to do right now. Certainly, but the answer isn't Erik Karlsson.
Goalies that they're paying over $1.5 million to. You have Jari at 3.375, DeSmith at 1.8. Alex Nedeljkovic at 1.5. So one of those two goalies has to go. Marcus Pettersson likely has to go. I don't think San Jose wants to take that type of salary back in there. I don't think they want those guys.
And I don't think you could trade Nedeljkovic right now because they just signed him.
No, Mark has not called him John Carlson yet, but we're waiting.
Not yet, Steven. Not yet.
We're waiting for that one.
By the way, speaking about guys named John and people that are unsigned, Jonathan Toews. It remains unsigned by the Chicago Blackhawks. Jonathan Toews will play in the NHL this season, Phil.
I think he will. I'm going to buy around, actually. I think he will. I just think it's going to be for a contract that he's probably not going to like. I think there are teams that are wondering how much he has left in the tank. His numbers in Chicago since that 80-point year have really gone down. And, I think there's just a lot of mileage between regular and season and playoff games on that body. And that's a big problem for him. He's 35, just turned 35 back in April. Only 31 points in 53 games this year. Not bad, but that's with 17:43 of ice time per game.
Mm-hmm.
He's not getting that where he goes. I really don't see it. Who has a need for a potential second line center right now?
I think you're looking at third line center money.
I think he's looking at third line center role and money, and I think he thinks otherwise, and that's probably why he hasn't signed yet. So I have a hard time seeing where the fit is as a second line center.
This is another reason why I wish Anthony was. Oh, sorry. So what'd you say for it, Phil? Beer?
No, I said round.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if I flashed it, but I'll do it again.
No, I don't think you did. But
all right. Well, it's a nice graphic.
Yeah.
This is one reason why I wish Anthony was around for this. This was one of his. 2 weeks ago, I bumped it to this week because I figured we were loaded on topics last week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go beer on this, and the reason why he's been having a lot of health problems since 2020. I just hope he's gonna be okay. And
John Raddick about this.
Thank you, John. Because that's one of those problems that you have to ask that question: is he okay? Because 53 games last year, he did get in. He missed the entire 2021 season, so like that's the half season. But he did get 71 games in. The year after the lockout shortened season, not the lockout shortened, the COVID shortened season. Like with the NHL, I'm so used to saying lockout that was just tripping off my tongue.
71 games, 37 points. I mean, he actually had a better year this year than he did the year before, but I just don't. I can't see where he's a second line center.
All right. Actually, let's save. As I just looked over, I saw Jay's question. I want to save that for the Q&A in a little bit.
Yeah.
But,
see that too.
Also, Adam Fantilli signed his ELC. Adam Fantilli will score 60 points next season as a rookie.
I'm gonna say beer. And the reason why I'm gonna say beer is that he Anaheim has some talent. They have some good young talent, and you could put him with someone like Trevor Zegras. You're
Columbus.
also
Columbus.
What's that?
Columbus.
Oh, Columbus. Wow. Yeah, that's right. Duh. Wow. See, there's a Phil messed up. Columbus
counts.
Yeah. No, it's Columbus, but just goes to show you how shocking it was that he wasn't taken second overall. Wow.
We were shocked too. But Leo Carlson's no slouch. So
no, he isn't. He isn't at all. You're right. There's talent around him. I mean, you could put him with line A and Gaudreau, and that could be a monster first line. But I really wonder if he gets that spot, or does Kent Johnson end up taking that spot? Or, I mean, I know Jack Roslovich has been one of their top centers for a while, but I really have a hard time kind of like saying that it's a lock. So I'm going to say beer, but it wouldn't shock me if he did it.
I'm going to go beer too. I want to go round. I want to actually just say they're going to throw him on with Johnny Gaudreau, and he's just going to kickstart right from there, and then that's going to be it. But you know what? It's not that easy just to step into the NHL as a rookie and just do this. And Jack Eichel, I don't think he got 60 his first year.
No, 50.
I know he had 20 goals, and he scored in his first game. But, I mean, Connor McDavid didn't score in his first game. He, matter of fact, had a broken collarbone, which affected a lot of his production his first year. You never know what happens with these people on their first year. You don't know what's going to happen with Connor Bedard. That's why he's not a lock for the Calder Trophy. So I'm just gonna go beer. I feel confident enough to hope that it's gonna happen, but not really there. And last one, Phil, before we do get some Q&A in here, the NHL needs an NBA style summer league.
I'm gonna go beer. Yeah, I know that like the NBA has it, and I don't know. I don't really know what the viewership is on that. And I just think that, as a player, you do need to take the time off. I don't know if that's necessarily a great thing for players. I don't know if I'd want the players doing this. I think rookie. I think I agree with David here. I think rookie. You know what? I'm gonna go shot. I think rookie minicamp is actually good enough. I kind of agree with that comment there, because I want the off season. I want the players to really focus on their strength, their conditioning, their skating, and so on. And this is another good comment. Expand on Traverse City. Like, if you want to do that, like, expand on that a little bit. I think that's a good idea. I wouldn't go too overboard with it. Wouldn't make it like as intense as like the World Cup of Hockey, because I know that sometimes players can get injured in those tournaments, and then it ruins their regular seasons, or at least the starts to the regular seasons. So this is actually going to be a hard pass for me. I'm going to say no, shot.
Yeah, no, they don't need to. I don't even know if it's oversaturating the product. I made a joke the other night at the bar that they should put Traverse City on TV first. You're right about that, Romanello. But I look at this, Phil, and I just go, it's like the preseason for the preseason. And yes, rookie camp, John, I got to agree with you 100%. Shot on that, because you don't need it. You just don't. It's too much. The great thing about the NHL is that there is an off season. For most of us, we can sit back, relax, go do some other things. I mean, not us. We're gonna have programming all the way through till September. We might take a week off eventually in August, but it's just as far as needing extra hockey to go, these kids have enough on their plates. No, they don't need you don't need to get a summer league. Well, that's going to be the end of NHL Bar Talk on Big Apple Hockey. So what do you guys think? And I saw a lot of you playing along right there with the comments. Good job. Let's get some Q&A in here. And just kind of sucks that we only have 3 of us today and not all 4 of us, but all 4 of us. Jesus. There's a Marc messed up. How about that one?
Well,
but there's only 2 of us, not 3 of us right now. Does Kane sign with the Rangers or another team? Which one, Islanders or Sabres?
Oh, wow. I think he's a realistic option for the Rangers. If all right, semi-realistic. Sorry. So I just think that it's after Lafreniere, they're not going to have a lot of cap space, and I don't know if Drury wants to go do that 15-man roster nonsense again. But I think he's more realistic than Vladimir Tarasenko, probably. I wonder if he holds off on signing until after his surgery is all completed and like he's really back into the groove of like recovering and recuperating and then maybe he has a better timetable as to when he's going to be available and then maybe signs later on. So I don't know. I think Buffalo could be a somewhat. I think they're probably the favorite right now. So
I would say so too. I think Buffalo does make some sense. I can actually. He's coming off hip surgery, and Backstrom had it. Maybe that gives you the belief, because Backstrom ended up looking more like himself towards the end of the year. I think it's rough, but I just think he's. I think he's signing for a 1-year deal. It might not necessarily be the Rangers or the Islanders. It might be like a team like the Dallas Stars or something like that. Like at the end, he might just want to compete, play some meaningful games. I could also see Patrick Kane being one of those guys that just signs, go back home. That's it. Let's see what we have. You can't wait until he's healthy and accrue cap space while he heals. Well, you can. He could sign later on and just get a prorated contract. That could be there. And no, Mike, there are no drinks going on right now. But I do like what David said. The audience counts as one. Chris T. Was that what you're going for?
No, I was just laughing. And not only that, I just thought of Audience of One, which is a song by Rise Against. So.
Oh, okay. I'll look that one up. I I like some Rise Against.
That's a very good song. It's on Appeal to Reason.
By the way, Christy is saying Buffalo will make the playoffs next year. He would much rather play with Tage Thompson than a Matt Barzal, who has just regressed since he entered the league. I don't know if I want to say that Barzal regressed. Barzal regressed offensively, but not as a complete player.
I think he's gotten a little better defensively. I don't think he was ever really going to be an 85-point player. The shooting just isn't there. It's not. And that's just not the type of player he is. I think he's just wired a different way. And I think he came into the right team at the right time where he was kind of insulated by a guy that took the top matchups, and rightfully so. And he was able to feast on lesser defenses. And, you know what? Good on him for being opportunistic and taking advantage and putting up, you know, some great numbers as a rookie. He's the last 85-point rookie, I believe. There's been no big rookie years like that since. So yeah, I think he's regressed to a point offensively. I think he's a little better defensively than he came up with. The smarts. It's really like his just holding on to the puck for too long and all this other crap. I mean, I've gone over it ad nauseum. I feel like when I'm talking about Matt Barzal, but it's all just.
I think you could definitely find it with him again. I just think he needs the right coach to bring it out to him.
Yeah.
So Romanello, by the way, has a hot take, and we forgot we have a special game for you guys that we're going to be playing in a minute. So Romanello's got a hot take. Boston misses the playoffs next year. Everyone had a career year and was all healthy. You know what? That might not be a hot take. I think there's a good chance Boston missed the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think I think a regression from Linus Ullmark is to be expected. I think that team is still a decent team, but their top two centers are who? Charlie Coyle and who at this point? Where's the center depth?
God help me. I don't even know.
I mean, I
thought they were going to go get Mark Scheifele.
That's what I thought. That made a lot of sense, but they just don't have a great roster makeup. And you're right. A lot of guys had career years for them. So you still have Pasternak and Marchand, who are incredible, but let's see what happens to them without Patrice Bergeron. I know. Coyle and Zacha. That's right. Zacha played
Pavel
center.
Zacha back to center. I mean, was he a center? He was a wing. Yeah, he was a wing last year.
Yeah, and then you have Jake DeBrusk, but you have Morgan Geekie. I mean, are you expecting him to make a big jump? You brought back Milan Lucic, and he's really a fourth liner. JVR, if you get 15 goals and 30 points out of JVR, I think you take that and run. And then Jesper Boquist is with them. He's on a 1-year deal, and then he
I think Boston's got $30 million invested in their back end. That's a lot.
They don't have a lot of cap space. They have $5.4 million, but there's not a center really. I mean, unless they bring in Jonathan Toews to kind of take that Patrice Bergeron spot, and maybe Toews finds new life with a new team, I don't see how they answer their center issues. And because, yeah, you're right. They have $29.75 million invested on that back end right now. And
all right. So we're going to do one question, then we're going to do our special game that we got. We're going to start doing more of those games. We're going to mention that in a minute. But State of Survivor wants to know, is Columbus a playoff team right now? I'm going to give you a hard no. Not in that division. It's going to be real tough.
No, I don't see them being better than the Devils, the Rangers, the Hurricanes. What teams are they better than? That's the question that you have to ask.
I don't think they're better than the Islanders.
I don't think they're better than the Islanders either. I think the Islanders are more structured. I think the Islanders will flirt with a playoff spot. They could miss. They could make. I'm not sure. I'm not completely sure that they're better than Pittsburgh. I'm not completely sure that they're better than Washington. I think
You're the only team I know they're better than Philadelphia.
That's it. Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
So everybody throw more questions in there. Philka's only got about another 20 more minutes that he's going to be on.
Maybe less than that. Yeah.
Maybe even less than that. But if you haven't been checking out Immaculate Grid, which is really for baseball, they have one of them called Puckdoku. And I've been playing this, and no, it isn't the assistant to Count Dooku from Star Wars. This is something much better. So why don't we bring that in? And what we have today
is Puckdoku.
Yeah, Dooku. Dooku. Oh, Dooku. My bad.
Puckdoku.
Puckdoku.
Not Count Dooku, Mark.
You know what? That's where my mind was going anyway, so we'll just go with that one.
Then again, Mark probably calls the Deku tree in Zelda the Dooku tree sometimes, so I wouldn't.
No. That's the Deku tree. The Deku tree came first.
Oh, God.
All right, Phil. So we got 9 guesses to do these 9 things.
I did this
somebody that played for the LA Kings and the Calgary Flames. I got Craig Conroy. How about you?
I actually did this earlier on today. I don't know if you want me to make new guesses or give you the ones that I did.
I think you're just going to assist me. So let's go with Craig Conroy, their current GM. So that's in there.
That what's that? 3%?
A what?
That says 3% in there.
3% of people.
That's actually better than the one that I got because I put Robin Regier there and that got me 4%. So you did a little better there than me.
All right. Let's see. 50 assists in a season. I think there was a guy.
I got a good one. No, that's too common. That's way too common.
All right. So wait, the better score is to say one that's less common.
The ones that are more rare answers. Yes. So you don't want to give the obvious. Oh, you went to the one that I picked. Yes. Good man.
I used to always play with Jimmy Carson everywhere. Now, what I didn't know, by the way, Phil, is you can actually use the same guy for multiple things.
What's that?
So you could use the same guy, multiple different answers.
You can?
I did not know that.
No, I didn't know that either. So
yeah.
So do you want the top one for Tampa that I put?
Not yet. Let's go with Chris Drury. We'll go with an easy one right there. Flames and
4%. All right, you got one better than
4%. That's it.
Yeah, that's really good. That's a really good answer because people forget that he was a Calgary Flame.
Let's see, Zach Gosian. That's an easy one to just get on that.
Oh, that's too high. I could have given you a better one.
Who's your better one?
Joe Ricci, 0.1%.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one. 50 assists single season. Well,
I went Gilbert Perreault. Unless you got one better than that. LaFontaine's going to be higher. I guarantee you right now.
I know. It's 23%, but
Perreault was 10%.
I'm going to start training my brain to think more like what you're doing.
Yeah, more
right now, I got to get these guys in here.
I got a good one. Former Ranger that also played for the Red Wings was the one that I picked. Come on, guys, in the chat. Let's see if you can guess this one. Former Ranger and Red Wing, played for the Rangers in the 90s.
Former Ranger and Red Wing.
He was teammates with both Steve Yzerman and a future Rangers head coach in Detroit.
Can't blank. Well, it's obviously Gerard Gallant. It's the early 90s, so we're talking about.
That's the future Rangers head coach. Also an answer in this for me.
Well, it's not well, that would be this one. Gerard Gallant.
Joe Kocur. No.
Well, Joey Kocur would fit
No, this is not the answer for. Oh, yes, that's the answer for that one. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, Gerard Gallant played his last year or two.
2 years.
2 years there. Okay, so we have 50 assists in a single season.
It is not Ray Shepard, John Radigan. Not Ray Shepard is the answer that I'm thinking of. Different.
Ray Shepard, it was who a guy I was thinking of.
Ray Shepard, I don't think ever hit 50 assists.
Oh, wait. Assists in a season? It can't be John Ogrodnik.
It is John Ogrodnik.
Wow.
It is. Now you got to remember,
Brodnick had 50 assists in the season.
50 assists in a season with Detroit, with playing with Steve Yzerman and Gerard Gallant.
He scored 30 twice for the Rangers.
Oh, Grodnick had a 40-goal year for the Rangers, I believe.
That was 89, 90, I mean. Okay. So
check that. I believe you might be correct on the year. I
ran the Neil Smith, so I have points for glory stuck in my head for the rest of my life. Which, by the way, that's a great story. I ran to Neil Smith on the street in Nashville. Great guy. Talked hockey to him for about 20 minutes. My friends were wondering where the hell I was. One of the rare guys with a Stanley Cup ring for the Rangers and the Islanders. Anybody in the chat, who's another one that has that?
What is it?
A Stanley Cup ring from the Rangers and the Islanders.
Ooh.
There's a flame. Oh, look, it's easy, but again, Phil, I got to work on this.
Yeah, that was my answer too.
I got to be perfect. I mean, Yuri Hoodler?
Yes, Yuri Hoodler was one too.
I wonder how that came out.
I wonder if that one would have been a lesser answer, actually.
All right, I gotta get this one, and unfortunately, we're pressed for time.
I'll give you an answer. It's a real good one. Steve Kasper.
Wait, who?
Steve Kasper.
Okay, we'll go with that one. Can we get any other?
He was a teammate of Gretzky's in LA in the '80s, and he was one of the original Tampa Bay Lightning rosters guys.
Okay. Yeah. So Steve Kasper, the uniqueness only 108 because obviously, see, you know what? I did want to give it on that. I actually was going to say Dan Cloutier.
My uniqueness was 51.
I completely forgot Vinny Lecavalier played for both teams.
Oof.
Yeah.
Kopitar. I mean,
Kopitar and Zadorov. Vernon was the popular pick. Valtteri Filppula. A lot of people.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking of Valtteri Filppula, and I needed somebody that was a little more unique than that. Oh man.
We had the Big Apple Hockey Bar Talk on there, but that still works. That's a nice little.
Chris T responded with Glenn Healy as somebody who had rings with both the Rangers and the Islanders. So let's see if that is correct. No, that is not correct. He was a one-time Cup winner.
I could give you his initials, and I'll give you a hint. It's the same initials as a Rangers head coach.
PL?
Nope.
Not a current Rangers head coach. So GG? Are the initials?
Yep.
Ooh, Greg Gilbert.
Greg Gilbert is correct. Rich, good job on that one.
Yeah, because that's right. He came in at the very tail end of the dynasty days with the Islanders as a young player. And yeah, I was like, Greg Gilbert, Cup winner Rangers. I was like, yeah, that was one of the.
That's actually one of my favorite trivia questions. One of the other ones is, who's the first player to play for the Rangers, Islanders, and Devils?
The first player?
First player to do it.
Was it Sergei Nemchinov?
No.
No. Earlier
and much more traveled.
Okay, so Rangers, Islanders, and Devils. I'm just going to list off the players that have done it. Nemchinov, Malikov, Van Beesbrook, Weeks. Let's see here. I'm drawing blank earlier.
Yeah, he actually did it by. Oh no, he did it by 96.
He did it by 1996.
96.
Patrick Flatley never played for the Devils.
That's correct. Not Patrick Flatley.
Let's see here.
Pardon me for 1 second, because
Grabner did it, but did it a lot later than that, obviously. Let's see here. Shit. Wow, this is really making me think. Someone earlier, Barry Beck never played for the Islanders, so that's not it. He accomplished it by 96. LaFontaine never played for the Devils. LaFontaine's, I believe, the only one to play for all three New York teams. Crap. Let's see here. Bernie Nichols never played for the Islanders. Let's see. Wow, this is a tough one. The first one to do it.
To play for the Rangers, Devils, Islanders, I'll give you 60 seconds left.
Oh, geez, wow. Throwing me under the bus here.
Not Verbeek. Asham did do it, by the way, but
Verbeek never played for the
Nemchinov is
Islanders.
the second player to do it, by the way.
Sergei Nemchinov is the second player. Oh, God, wow. I wish
I think State of Survival's got it. Because he's saying NHL journeyman.
I don't even want to
this
look.
guy played for. Give me 1 second. He played for only 6 teams, which I guess I would qualify as journeyman, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's definitely journeyman status. Oh God. Forward or defenseman?
Forward.
All right.
Let me see. I want to make sure whether or not his son played for the Islanders. I don't think they're related.
Wow. Okay. Now you're throwing me off with that one. Oh, jeez. I hate giving up on something like this, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get it.
This is where it would be great for family trees. The trade tree videos, by the way, great. No, not P.A. Parento.
No, it's definitely
not Jeff Courtnall. Jeff Courtnall was definitely a thorn in a lot of people's sides.
No, Jeff Courtnall never played for any of those 3 teams.
Jeff Courtnall, the final goal of the 1994 Stanley Cup Finals. Oh, wait, sorry, Trevor Linden. That's right. Sorry, Trevor Linden. He had
Trevor
both of them.
Linden, yes. It was.
Yeah, no, because he had both of them. I fell into the Sam Rosen trap because he said he was surprised Courtnall shot it.
Yeah.
Whoop, hold on. We got somebody that got it.
All right. I'm not looking. I really want to figure this out, too. I have to order food. Sorry. No, you know what? I give up. I don't want to spend too much time.
Pat Conacher.
Pat Conacher? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
For some reason, I only remember him as an LA King. It's weird. All the teams.
Oh,
and then I can answer that question because I stayed up. I watched the Rangers versus the Kings when I was a senior in high school. Yeah, I'm old. And Pat Conacher had a goal in that game. So did Wayne Gretzky. And I believe, I think Daniel Lacroix had a goal for the Rangers in that game. Daniel Lacroix.
Yeah, that's an interesting name, too.
Yep. Beezer did do it. So did Asham. So did Dunham. And so did Parento. Quickly, Phil, who's the last guy to play for all 3?
Michael Grabner.
Michael Grabner. So, which I'll have to double check that, but I believe that is all that.
Christy wants to do trivia again. I mean,
we used to always do trivia.
Yeah, so, we had that at some point. Like when a while ago, we were doing that here and there. But
we started with it. It was a lot of prep work, and I had to come up with just different questions. So we'll do some more of that because I mean, after all, Phil, because it's the summer, we're gonna have to do some of these.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to improvise to obviously give more material and stuff like that. Oh God, Rich goes, "You're old. I remember the Rangers on Channel 9."
I do remember that as well.
Mike was one of the guys that did it. Was not the last one though.
Yeah. Well, And the funny part is Anthony might be back on in a second, and we're getting close to streaming, getting out of here.
Yeah. So
does Cooley and wait, sorry, we were on the same thing.
Yeah. Do Cooley and Offman both make the Rangers this season? He thinks they both make it out of camp.
I think Ottman has a better chance to make it out of camp. I don't think Cooley has the same chance.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not trying to rush either one of these kids, though. I really wouldn't mind seeing Ottman start in Hartford and then kind of work his way up. I don't see the need to rush these kids.
Ooh, hey, Philk. Romanello's got a good one.
Yeah, has anyone coached all three or two of the three? I don't know if anybody's coached.
I could give you two names. One that coached the Rangers and Devils that'll shock you. One that'll coach one, and obviously Peter Laviolette has coached.
Yeah, two of them now.
Has coached two just now.
So the one,
or he will coach his second, I should say.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, it's obviously good. I know that. All right, so the Devils won the Rangers and the Devils. When did he coach the Devils?
I think it was the second to last team he coached. I want to say it was the late 80s, maybe.
Jim Schoenfeld.
Whoa?
Jim Schoenfeld.
No, because he never coached the Rangers.
Oh, that's right. He was only an assistant with them. Okay. Yeah. Crap. Okay. No. You know what? I can't even lie. I saw it in the chat on accident. Crap.
You did?
Yeah, Herb Brooks.
John, wow, that's a great one. When I found that out years ago, I'm like, what? Herb Brooks? Yeah. And then he won the division with Pittsburgh after that, and then he retired, turned it over to Ivan Holinka. Was that
Ivan Holinka?
Ivan Holinka. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Romanello, not a lot of people know that Herb Brooks coached many other teams besides the
Rangers.
The Rangers. Well, obviously, the way it is the Rangers, Minnesota, because he had to go home to Minnesota eventually, and then it was the Devils, and then later on, I think about a decade later, he came back with Pittsburgh. So, but
yeah, Brooks. Well, actually, no. Brooks went right to Jacques Lemaire, not to Lincoln. Or are you talking to Pittsburgh? Okay.
Oh, talking to Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. All right.
Yeah. It's like if you're French Canadian, eventually you're going to go back to Montreal. If you're from Minnesota or Michigan, you're going to be over there. Same thing with Boston.
No, Kevin Constantine took over. That's right. In 98, 99. Or sorry, 99, 2000. Sorry, he took over. Yeah. So Kevin Constantine took over for Brooks. And then the next year, was it Constantine? No, Ivan Holinka had them the next year. And that was when they went to the Eastern Finals and they lost to Jersey. And then Darius scored the series-winning goal on Dominik Hasek and then slid down the ice on his belly. Oh, man.
Well, who started? Jay Lewis is asking this one. I got one already set. Who started their career with the Islanders and or Devils and ended their career with the Rangers, Islanders, or Devils?
Who started their career with the Rangers, Islanders, or Devils, and who ended their career with the Rangers, Islanders, or Devils? Brendan Shanahan started and ended with the Devils and played with the Rangers right before he ended with but he never.
I completely forgot he went back to the Devils.
Yeah, he went back to the Devils for his last year.
John Van Beesbrook.
John Van Beesbrook started with the Rangers, ended with the Devils.
Nemchinov, I think, ended with the Devils.
Yes, he did. Actually, no. I think he might have. Did he end with the Islanders? Because 2000 was it?
Oh, you're right about that. I think he might have ended with the Islanders.
No, he didn't. He went to the Devils for.
All right, then I had it all wrong.
No, because he started with the Rangers in '92. He had the 30-goal rookie year, and then the Devils in '02 was his last year. But he was a part of he's one of the few players to win the cup with the Rangers and the Devils.
Yep. Vladimir Malakov started as an Islander.
Started as an
ended
Islander.
as a Devil.
The Rangers. He did not end as a. Oh no. Did he wait? Did he play any games in San Jose? That's the question, because the Devils dealt him to San Jose in a cap clearing move.
Oof. You mean he wasn't caught skiing on a broken leg?
No, he never played a game for San Jose. They traded him to San Jose, but he never played in San Jose.
Doug Waite started as. Oh no, you know what? You're right. Forgot all about Doug Waite being an Islander for a minute. Yeah, Doug Waite.
Doug Waite ended as an Islander. Yep.
Pat Flatley ended as a Ranger, right?
I do know that Doug Waite ended as an Islander because Anthony and I actually we got to meet Doug Waite in one of his final years with the Islanders. So that was a pretty cool story. Rich,
by the way,
I'd
ask Phil, but he already knows the answer. Who's the only person to score on Mike Richter on a penalty shot?
My lips are sealed.
Wow, that's a good one.
Rich Pilon did not end with the Rangers. He played 8 games in St. Louis in 2002. Those were his last ones.
Yeah, Pilon didn't end. Yeah, I didn't think he did.
So how many other players than Pat LaFontaine have played with all 3 New York teams? I'm not entirely sure on that, to tell you the truth.
Oof.
That's a tough one.
That's a good one.
Chara started his career with the Islanders and ended with the Islanders, so I guess you could put him on that list.
Yeah, technically speaking, the way it's worded, yeah, that's there.
Yeah, so.
It's a nice little trivia segment. I'm gonna have to sign off soon.
Yeah, so am I, because I gotta get ready for the other podcast. Oh yeah, by the way, Rangers Ice Brew. That's the podcast that I'm going to be on. I will pull up their information right now. Just give me a second here.
I have not put up the like, share, and subscribe at all today, so yeah, I am looking forward to zero growth.
Yeah. Wow, Mark.
Well, that's a lot. Don't worry, we'll still have plenty of shorts and stuff like that. Yeah, you could check that out on Phil's Twitter, and actually, Phil, I'll put that in the comments.
Yeah,
as soon as this ends.
Rangers Iced Brew. They're on YouTube as well, so definitely check them out. I'll be on there 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. That's when they're going on.
And technically speaking, we're not in competition, so
no,
that's more than
definitely
fun.
not a competition of any type. I mean, even us in Rangers Review, it's not a competition.
Yeah, it's community.
It's a community. We're trying to help everybody grow. This is actually a good question here. But what do we think of Barn Rocker beer? It's not bad.
It's not bad. Not the best. Not bad.
That's not bad. But I mean, I could throw a few down. If you want to throw a few down, I could throw a few down. I've had it before. It's really not bad. Not my favorite beer, but I mean, I can drink myself, or I can drink and enjoy myself. I should say I can drink myself. I can drink myself into a stupor, if I wanted to. But yeah, I was gonna.
I would rather have a Barn Rock. I could actually have 2 or 3. I've been to Oyster Bay Brewing a lot. I was trying to get an affiliation with them, but we haven't been able to yet. All right, you want to start with this one?
Ooh, Halak became the 10th goalie to start and win a game for the Rangers and the Islanders. Who were the other 9? I could right off the top of my head. Van Beesbrook.
1.
Oh God.
Healy?
Van Beesbrook. Weeks. Biron.
Dunham.
Dunham, yeah. Healy.
Steve Valaket.
Valaket, that's another one. Yep. Let's see here. That's 6.
Jamie McLennan.
Yeah, Jamie McLennan. That's another good one. Wow. We have 7, so there's 2 more. We already said Dunham. Let's see.
We already said Kevin Weeks.
We already said Kevin Weeks. We're probably going to have to go back to the 80s. Hanlon? No, Hanlon never played for the Islanders, I don't think.
I think it's definitely in the 90s. That's all. That's how it's from. Not Feast Show.
No. I think he was with the Rangers. No, Feast Show wasn't with the Rangers. Never mind.
We got two more.
I'm trying to see. No.
Oh, God. Why'd you have to put it up, John? Phil, think 2010 or 2011.
I just saw it. Crap. I didn't want to.
Chad Johnson.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Hirsch may have been one of them, but it wasn't.
And I'll tell you who it's not, and who I was tempted to say, Al Montoya. I don't think Al Montoya ever played a game for the Rangers.
I think he might have played a game, but I don't think he won one.
Yeah.
Oh no, he never played a game. It was only preseason he played. That's right.
I mean, and the funny part is Al Montoya was actually pretty good in the minors. He just never really got his game to translate to the NHL. It wasn't until he went to Phoenix. And yeah, Empire. That is 100% right. You got to get gotta get a beer. All right, guys, I'm gonna start playing this out right now. If you got like one more, question,
I've got to get going because I've got food coming and I've got to eat real quick before I go on with that stuff.
All right, great. Because I actually have a girlfriend that I have to go get dinner with, and it's an important thing to make sure I get there as soon as possible today. So, yeah. So everybody, thanks for joining us this week. We got actually a lot of stuff that we got going on. We're gonna have our Devils contributor Neil from Devil State of Mind to come on and do like a Devils report with us every now and again. We're gonna talk to I've got to reach out to Taylor. I want to talk to her about the Stars editions. So I know you were trying to get on. That would be great if all of us could get on. And also I still got some other stuff where we're gonna be doing talking about hockey movies and stuff like that. So everybody, it's the off season for everybody else except for me. So I'll be hunched over my computer doing shorts tonight. Ooh, what's that face, Phil?
Different song?
No. It's bye.
Why does it sound different?
Because I think it was lower. My cousin Phil, by the way, did sound for the New York Rangers, and I have a picture of him with the Stanley Cup.
So, wow.
Yeah, I posted it one time, and somebody decided to call him Ron Jeremy. But on the other hand, Ron Jeremy got a lot of action. So there you go. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We will see you next week, same time, unless some big news breaks. But we got a lot more hockey to talk about. Make sure you're subscribed and you left us a like. And also, more shorts coming out. We've been popping out shorts every single day. So keep them coming and keep liking us because got to make the BAH virus spread, as Mike says. Bilk, last word.
Slow season.